The door flew open fast, like it wanted to show how strong it was. A man walked in. He didn't knock. He didn't wait. He just came inside, like he owned the place. He was really tall, 6 feet and 4 inches. He looked ready to fight. His hoodie was dark and had fresh sweat on it. His chin was up, like he already won something. All the kids in the room stopped. Some had their feet in the air, frozen mid-step. Others had their hands up with gloves on, but they stopped punching. Jason Statham didn't move at all. He was showing a blocking move when the door opened. He finished the move first. Then he turned around, still acting like the hero the kids thought he was. The man who came in was named Rico Vance. He stood just inside the door, looking around like a teacher checking who was in trouble. His voice sounded the same, but something about it felt sharper, meaner. It was the kind of voice that now talked to big crowds and microphones, not to students. Jason turned around slowly, calm and steady. He looked at Rico like a rock looks at a storm, quiet, still. He was still pretending he didn't need to be bothered. It was very quiet after that. Not the kind of quiet for drama, just the kind that happens when something too real happens, and kids don't know what to do. Some kids had seen Rico on YouTube. Others had only heard his name on TV after big fights. But none of them had ever seen him in real life. Rico walked onto the mat without bowing. He was being rude, but not in a loud way, on purpose. "You know why I'm here," he said. Jason stayed in his place. "You forgot this is a class for the community," Jason said. "Not a show." Rico looked at the kids. "Same thing these days," he said. He started walking slowly around the mat. Jason didn't move. Rico stopped by the back wall. There was an old photo there. It was black and white. It showed Rico when he was a sweaty teenager, smiling. His arm was around a younger Jason. It was the day Rico got his first yellow belt. "You kept that photo up?" Rico asked without turning. Jason didn't speak right away. When he did, his voice was very soft. "I won't erase history," he said. "I help people live with it." Rico turned and smiled, but not kindly. "Then let's make something new to put on the wall." He took out his phone. He turned on the camera and hit live. The little red light blinked. He was now streaming to the world. "What's up, everyone?" Rico said. "Look where I am, my old dojo. Time to see if Sensei still knows how to move, or if he just talks now." He turned the phone to show Jason. Some of the kids looked away. Some stared. They didn't know if this was something cool or something wrong. One girl picked up her phone to film, but then stopped. Jason lifted his hand, not to stop Rico, but to calm everyone down. "What do you want?" he asked. "Legacy," Rico said. "Then why come in through the back?" Jason asked. "Because that's where the ghosts are," Rico said. Jason looked at him a little more seriously. Rico took another step. "People are going to ask me who trained me," he said. "They'll want to know where I came from. You want them to know you're still part of that story." "I wasn't part of your story," Jason said. "I was part of your start." "Same thing, isn't it?" Rico said. Jason looked at the kids. Some looked confused. Some looked scared. Some were already filming. "The start is who you thank," Jason said. "But who you become, that's what really matters." Rico stepped in close. "Then let's show them who I became." The floor creaked under his feet. He wasn't asking anymore. Jason looked at the clock on the wall. Then he walked to the center of the mat. "1 round," he said. "No hitting heads. No choking. No crazy stuff." Rico laughed. "You still think this is about rules?" "No," Jason said, looking at him. "I think this is about memory, and how some people have to break it to feel free." Rico stood tall and ready. The live stream kept blinking. Thousands were already watching. Some people wrote fire emojis. Some called Jason a legend. Some said he was old. Rico held his phone high, making sure the light hit his face just right. He wanted to look cool. He wanted his voice to sound strong. "The world wants truth," he said. "So let's give it to them." He turned the phone to show the kids. Some kids flinched. Some waved. Most just looked down. Jason stood to the side, arms crossed, looking at Rico, not at the phone. "You're going to see something real today," Rico said to the live stream. "Real skill, real power. Not some fake wisdom. The truth in motion." He gave the phone to a boy near the wall. "Hold this steady, champ. Get it all." The boy nodded. He was too young to say no. He wanted to be part of something big. Jason stepped forward, voice calm. "That's enough." Rico smiled wide, but not happy. Not yet. He walked to the center of the mat again. His arms were a little open. He looked like someone waiting for a cheer, even if no one cheered. "Tell them the rules, Sensei," Rico said, "so they can say I broke them." Jason looked at the kids. A little girl, maybe 11 years old, stepped forward. Her eyes were big. She looked scared. She spoke in a small voice. "But, he's your sensei." Rico didn't look at her. He looked at Jason. "Not anymore." Jason nodded once. One round. No headshots. No choking. No acting. Rico didn't agree. He just smiled and rolled his shoulders. "You're scared to lose in your own place." Jason didn't answer the joke. He just took off his shoes, slowly, like he always did. Not for a show, for balance. He faced Rico. "I'm not scared to lose," he said. "I'm scared you already did." Rico didn't say anything. He started bouncing on his feet, moving fast. Jason didn't chase him. He stayed still. His hands are ready. His breath is steady. The kids watched, super quiet. The boy with the phone kept filming. The red light kept blinking. Rico made the first move, a small fake punch that stopped early. He was testing. Jason didn't move. Rico circled him again, louder with his steps. "You always teach them to freeze?" "I teach them to think," Jason said. "Then think faster." Rico punched again. Jason blocked it with just a little flick of his wrist. Rico smiled. He wasn't trying to hit. He was trying to get close and show off. "You're not even trying, Sensei." Jason moved just a little. Hurting you was never the goal. Rico rushed in, a fake low move, then spun around high. He didn't try to hit hard, just to show he could. Jason blocked the first. The second hit his shoulder a little, but he didn't show pain. Rico stepped back. "See? They don't care about control. They want someone strong." Jason looked at the girl from before. Her face was pale now. She didn't blink. "And what do you want, Ro?" Jason asked. "To be unstoppable." Jason nodded. "Then let's end this before you're remembered the wrong way." Rico came fast again. More punches. Jason blocked. He didn't hit back. Rico shouted, "Come on. Hit me. They won't respect you if you just stand there." "No," Jason said. "But maybe they'll see what it means to hold back. For someone you used to believe in." Rico paused. Just a little. But it was enough. Jason saw it, that pause. That tiny crack. Rico wasn't just angry. He was trying too hard. Not to beat Jason, but to be Jason. The round ended without a bell. Jason just lowered his hands and stepped back. "That's it," he said. "We're done." Rico was breathing hard. His fists were tight. "No, we're not." But then the little girl stepped forward. This time she wasn't scared. Her voice was strong. "You already lost." And Rico finally heard it. From someone who wasn't afraid. The mat made a soft sound under their feet. That quiet rubbing sound. The air felt different. No music. No countdown. No loud crowd. Just the space between people. Just memory. And something even stronger than both. Jason Statham moved like water. He was calm and smooth, like a quiet stream. His hands didn't punch. They just moved other hands out of the way. His eyes didn't follow fast moves. They saw everything like a big picture. He wasn't fighting. He was keeping things under control. Rico didn't like that. "You're not trying, teacher," Rico said while breathing hard. "You're old and slow now." Jason didn't get mad. He moved to the side. Rico's shoulder missed him. Jason pushed Rico's elbow just a little so it wouldn't hit. Rico got ready again. They want to fight, not some quiet class, he said. Jason said softly, I'm holding something you lost. Rico made a sideways smile. What's that? Patience. And a reason. Jason moved away from Rico's big swing. It was easy for him. Too easy. Rico didn't like that. He ran in again faster, throwing lots of punches to Jason's middle. He wanted to see how strong Jason's defense was. Jason blocked 2 punches, moved the third, and stepped back. He didn't try to hit Rico back. He was in control, but not of Rico. He was in control of himself. That made Rico more upset. The kids watching started whispering. Some laughed. Not in Rico. At Jason. One boy said loud enough for everyone, why doesn't he fight back? Rico heard that. It made something angry inside him grow. He jumped forward with his elbow, stopping it close to Jason's face. You scared to mess up your good name? Jason looked at him and said, I'm scared to hurt someone who once called me a teacher. Rico didn't blink. But the next punch he threw was full of anger, not just strength. It moved fast through the air and just missed Jason. Jason stepped back, not scared. He was being careful. You want to show them power, he said. I want to show them control. Rico laughed. They don't want control. They want to see who's the boss. Jason let a kick pass by him. He said, the mat doesn't belong to anyone. That's the point. Rico came forward again. His jaw was tight. He was breathing faster now. He wasn't tired yet, but he was using up energy faster than Jason. And he knew it. You're making me look weak. Jason's voice stayed calm. You're doing that on your own. Rico swung hard. Jason caught his wrist in the air, softly, then let it go. He could have ended the fight, but he didn't. You could have hit me, Rico said quietly. Taught me a lesson. Why didn't you? Because that's not why you came, Jason said. The camera held by a kid started shaking. He wasn't filming a fight now. He was filming something slower, something harder. A man trying not to lose someone he once cared about. Rico stepped back, chest going up and down. He wasn't smiling anymore. He didn't just want to win. He wanted to feel full again, like beating Jason would fix the empty parts inside him. They're laughing at you, Rico said. Jason answered, then I hope they laugh kindly, when they choose who they want to be. Rico didn't say anything. He moved again, faking left, real punch right. It touched Jason's shoulder. Just a little. He turned to the camera. See that? I still got it. Some kids clapped a little. One girl looked away. Jason didn't speak. He just rolled his shoulder and stood ready again. What video do you want? He asked. Rico's face changed a bit. No. Not yet. Then why are you still recording? Because if I beat you and no one sees it, it doesn't count. Jason looked around at the kids. Then the world is watching the wrong part of the story. Rico spun with a big fancy move, a fast back fist. It looked cool. It was dangerous. Jason ducked under it and stepped away. That move could have really hurt someone smaller. Maybe I should have aimed lower, Rico said coldly. Jason's face didn't change. But something in the air felt different. The kids felt it too. The boy with the camera held it tighter. This wasn't a practice fight anymore. Jason let out a breath. We're not here to win. We're here to be seen. Then fight me like you mean it. No. Then I'll make you. Rico lowered his body, thinking. Jason stayed open, almost like he wasn't guarding. But his feet were always in control. The mat held both of them, but the room belonged to the quiet between hits. That's where the real story was. Not in the punches. In the pauses. Rico moved again. But this time, Jason didn't block. He stepped into the hit and let it land lightly on his side. Rico stepped back, confused. Why'd you let me hit you? So you'd see it didn't matter. Rico stood there, breathing hard. The mat didn't shake. But something under it felt broken. Jason turned to the kids. He's fast. He's strong. He's trained. But he forgot why that matters. Rico didn't move. Jason looked at him. When you forget who you are, power is just a mask. Then Jason stepped off the mat. Rico didn't follow. For the first time, Rico dropped his arms. He was breathing harder now. Not from the fight, but from what just happened. He stepped back 2 steps and let his shoulders fall a little. Sweat ran down his face. His jaw relaxed. He looked tired, like the fight was over. Jason watched carefully. He didn't trust it, but he hoped maybe, just maybe, Rico was done being angry. Maybe now they could talk again. Rico bent over, hands on his knees, acting like he was hurt more than he was. Jason took a small step forward. Not to attack, just to end things before it started again. But then Rico moved. Not fast, but very suddenly. He jumped up from his bend like a spring. His whole body turned in one big motion. His elbow came around, fast and tight, not toward Jason's body. Toward his neck. Jason had been too close. The elbow hit right in a soft, dangerous spot. There was no loud sound. Just a quiet, scary hit. Jason fell. His body folded in a way that bodies shouldn't. Not in front of kids. Not in a place where trust was taught. He didn't cry out. He didn't groan. He just dropped. The room was quiet for half a second. Even Rico didn't move. His arms are still halfway up. His face is hard to read. Then the screaming started. A girl at the side covered her mouth. 2 boys moved back to the wall. The camera in the boy's hand shook like crazy. He was scared. Then the video stopped. He either hit stop or dropped it. But not everyone stopped. A girl, maybe 10 years old, quietly took out her phone. She didn't talk. She didn't cry. She just pointed her camera at the man she had once trusted. Jason lay on the mat. He was gasping in little breaths. His eyes were half open, not really seeing. His chest went up and down slowly, with trouble. Rico stood above him, still breathing hard. But not because he was tired. Because of what he had done. He looked down at the man who used to call him son. There were strangers in the room. Then he said, "He taught me how to fall." He took 1 step around Jason's body. "I taught myself how to finish." His words didn't bounce off the walls. The room felt too heavy. The words just fell and stayed. A woman near the door grabbed her phone. A kid nearby cried into their shirt. No one moved. Not yet. Rico looked up again. For a moment, he didn't see a training room. He saw a cage. He didn't see students. He saw people waiting to judge him. They weren't gasping. They were ready to clap. He looked at the phone that had stopped filming. "Did you get that?" he asked. No one said anything. Rico laughed quietly, like he couldn't believe it. "This is how you teach," he asked. "By getting knocked down in your own class." Still, no one moved. Jason moved a little. He made a sound. It wasn't painful. It was his body trying to breathe again. Rico took a step back and shook out his arms. He looked around. No one smiled. No one looked proud. Just silence. He turned to the girl by the wall. "You want to learn how to win?" he asked. She didn't answer. She just kept filming. Rico made a rude sound. Then said, "Don't listen to people who only know how to lose." The girl didn't lower her phone. Her hands didn't shake. Her eyes stayed wide and calm. She was watching something she'd never forget. A lesson no one meant to teach. The office door creaked open. A parent peeked in. Their eyes got big when they saw Jason on the floor. "Is he okay?" they asked. No one answered. Rico wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. He walked to the side, not sure what to do with his hands. His hands had just done something bad. Something he couldn't undo. Jason didn't get up. Rico looked at him again. Now he had a small question in his eyes. But it was too late. The damage was done, not just to Jason's body, but to the whole room. To the belief that teachers stay strong. To the silence that used to mean respect. Rico stepped off the mat. No one clapped. No one said anything. Except the girl with the phone. She whispered, not looking away, "You broke something you'll never know how to fix." Rico didn't turn. He didn't need to. Her voice wasn't for him. It was for the people who would watch later. When the video went viral. When people saw the elbow, the fall, the stillness. But they wouldn't hear what came after, the part that mattered most. The back door creaked open, quietly. Not loud, but sharp, like a small knife. Heads turned one by one. Not because they were hopeful. Just out of habit. Something in the room felt different. Not louder. Just heavier. Chuck Norris walked in. He didn't talk. He didn't hurry. He just stood in the doorway. He wore old jeans and dusty boots. His sleeves were rolled up, like he had just come from a long walk. His face didn't show emotion. His eyes looked around, like a soldier checking for people who were hurt. He saw Jason first. Still on the ground. Still breathing, but just barely. Chuck's jaw tightened. He didn't say anything. He was so still, it made everyone else look wild. Rico turned. He was still on the mat. He wiped sweat off his face. "You here to babysit?" Rico asked. Chuck walked forward slowly. His boots tapped the mat gently. Not loudly. Just to let people know he was real. He didn't look at Rico right away. First, he looked at Jason. Then at the kids. Then finally he spoke. "No," Chuck said. He started rolling up his sleeve slowly. Like it mattered. "I'm here to remind you what respect used to look like." Rico made a laughing sound. "What is this? A reunion? I already beat one ghost today." Chuck didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. "And you forgot what happens when ghosts walk in the daytime." The words didn't sound like a threat. They felt like a memory. Rico stepped forward. He still looked tough, but not as much as before. He didn't expect someone to show up. He didn't expect silence to fight back. "You think I need a speech?" Rico said. Chuck looked him in the eyes. "No. I think you need something you can feel. That's the only way you understand." Rico looked around. The kids were still frozen. The girl with the phone was still filming. Jason still hadn't moved. "This isn't your place," Rico said. "You don't belong here." Chuck stepped onto the mat and stopped near Jason. "I belong anywhere people forget what matters." Rico stood straighter. His voice tried to sound strong, but it was shaky. "You're not even in this fight." Chuck raised his eyes. "The fight started the second you used that elbow." Everything got quiet. Nothing moved. Then Chuck took off his jacket. He folded it and laid it at the side of the mat. Like he was getting ready to do something important. "You want a rematch?" Rico asked. He smiled again. "You think people want to see old man karate?" Chuck didn't answer. He stood in a ready pose. Calm. Still. Rico gave a short laugh. "Fine. Let's give them another video." But Chuck didn't move. He waited. Rico walked in a circle. He looked for a weak spot. But he couldn't find one. And for the first time, he realized something. The room wasn't watching for a fight. They were waiting for the quiet before it. Chuck spoke again. "This isn't about the belt. Or the mat. Or the crowd." "Then what is it about?" Rico asked. Chuck lowered his head a little. "It's about the difference between being feared and being remembered." Rico flinched. Just a little. But the confidence was cracked. "You don't scare me," he said. Chuck nodded once. "Then this will be a good lesson." The words stayed in the air, like a story ending. Outside, the light got dimmer. Not because it was dark, but so people could see what came next better. Chuck still didn't move. Sometimes, the best lessons start with stillness. Rico moved first. He wasn't dancing. He wasn't showing off. He just wanted to win. He rushed forward, fast and hard. His fists came at Chuck's face like flashes. But Chuck didn't blink. He turned, letting the punches fly past him, like paper blowing in the wind. Rico missed 3 times. "You're slow," he said, smiling. Chuck didn't answer. He waited. Rico came again. Harder this time. His knee flew up. Chuck blocked it with his leg and moved to the side, calm, careful. He wasn't guessing. He was studying. But Rico had studied too. He was ready. He faked high. Chuck raised his guard. That's when Rico went low, a fast, sharp knee, hitting where it hurt most. Chuck made a small sound. Not loud. Just enough for people who understood to know it was bad. He took one step back. The room went still. Even Rico paused. His trick worked better than he expected. Then his face changed. He walked in closer, crouching. His face is close to Chuck's. "This is my video now," Rico whispered. Chuck didn't speak. His jaw was tight. His eyes were sharp, not angry but thinking. "You think people care about your past?" Rico whispered. "They only remember the end. The knockout. The pain." Chuck started to rise. Slowly. Carefully. Rico stepped back, sensing something, but not afraid. Chuck stood. Not tall. Not proud. Just strong. Rico's eyes flickered. For a second, he moved like he was getting ready for another punch. But the punch never came. Chuck didn't hit him. Instead, Chuck turned his left foot. He slid it behind Rico's foot. His right hand grabbed Rico's arm while it was swinging. With a quiet breath and many years of practice, Chuck used Rico's own strength against him. It didn't look angry. It looked like a doctor doing something carefully. Rico's shoulder popped out in the air. His arm bent the wrong way when he hit the ground. He screamed, not like someone who lost a fight, but like someone who finally understood he made a big mistake. The dojo, the place where they trained, became completely quiet. No one clapped. No one said anything. It happened so fast, so smooth, and so clear. Chuck stood over Rico, breathing hard. He had a bruise from when Rico hit him before, but he didn't show pain. He didn't smile. He didn't say anything mean. He knelt next to Rico, who was crying on the floor, his face showing pain and confusion. "You trained to be famous," Chuck said in a quiet voice, "but you didn't train for what happens after." Rico tried to talk, but no words came out. Someone moved behind them. It was the girl. She had filmed what happened to Jason before. She had watched the whole time. Now she lifted her phone and started filming again. No talking. No special effects. Just the truth. She posted the video less than a minute later. No cuts. No changes. Just the fall, the twist, the scream. She wrote 5 words under the video. "This is what happens when you betray your teacher." By the end of the day, 10,000 people had watched it. By the next morning, 12 million had. By lunch, the boss of the UFC saw it too. He posted it with just 4 words. "We don't sign cowards." And the tag, #RespectMatters. Everything changed quickly. Rico's sponsors left. Podcasts stopped talking about him. His team wrote a short message about healing and learning, but no one believed it. Because you can heal your body. But you can't fix what everyone now knows. Not when millions saw you hurt your teacher. And then get broken by your own mistake. Rico didn't say anything in public for days. He stayed in the hospital. His arm was in a sling. His name was in the news. But not the good kind. Chuck didn't become famous from the video. His name didn't trend. But his silence did. Kids online started sharing pictures from the video. Not of Rico yelling, but of Chuck standing still, calm, like a statue. A statue that had been through many fights and didn't need to win this one loudly. And far away in Harlem, the dojo stayed quiet for the first time in a long time. No shouting. No fighting. Just the soft feeling of respect coming back to where it started. 3 weeks passed. The internet moved on like it always does. New stories. New stars. New fights. But not for Rico Vance. He lay in a hospital bed. In a quiet room. No visitors. No talking. Just the soft sounds of machines that didn't care who he used to be. His arm itched inside the sling. His bruises turned from red to purple to yellow. But the worst pain was behind his eyes, when he opened them. Sometimes his phone lit up. He never rushed to pick it up. He didn't think it would be good news. One message said, "Removed from UFC pipeline." Under it, a new trending name. Rico the Betrayer. Even another country picked it up. He didn't check which one. He turned the phone over, screen down. He stared at the ceiling. The paint was peeling near the corner. That's what he looked at now, things that break slowly, like memories. The door opened. Footsteps came in. Not fast. Not soft. Just familiar. It was Jason Statham. He didn't say anything. He wasn't wearing a suit. He wasn't angry. He was just there. He stood at the foot of the bed. Then I walked to a small table near the window. He put down a paper bag. Inside was something wrapped in cloth. He didn't touch it again. He just said one sentence. "You earned this but never wore it." Rico didn't move. He knew what it was. That old belt. The white one. The one from long ago. The one he threw in a locker and never picked up. His eyes filled with tears, but he blinked hard to stop them. His good hand grabbed the blanket, like it could keep him from falling inside his sadness. He didn't reach for the belt. Jason didn't ask him to. Jason walked to the door. Then he stopped. His voice was tired, not mad. "You forgot what the belt meant. That was always the real injury." Then he left. The room felt colder. Rico sat still. No cameras. No fans. Just him and the belt. He didn't touch it. He wasn't sure he was ready. Minutes passed. Maybe more. Then the door opened again. Chuck Norris walked in. He held a cup of hospital coffee. He had a tiny limp, so small you'd miss it unless you looked closely. Rico saw it. Chuck didn't stop at the bed. He didn't try to talk. He walked through the room like he was walking between two ghosts. Rico lifted his head just a little. "Why didn't you destroy me?" Chuck stopped. He turned, just enough. He let the quiet fill the room. Then he said, "Because I don't fight to end people. I fight to give them the chance to end themselves." The words were soft, but Rico felt every part. Chuck took a slow sip of his coffee, then turned to the window. He looked out at nothing special. Just a rooftop, some pigeons, and a rusty AC machine humming. Then he walked out. No final words. No advice. Because some lessons don't need to be said again. They just need time to settle inside the broken parts. Rico sat alone. His eyes looked back at the bag. The belt was showing now. Its end sticking out, still clean. Still a beginning. His fingers moved toward it. Then stopped. He wasn't ready to wear it. But maybe, he was ready to remember what it meant. Outside, a truck beeped as it backed up. Far away, someone honked a horn. Life kept going. But inside the hospital room, for the first time in a long time, Rico didn't think about filming anything. He didn't care about the lighting. He didn't wonder what people online would say. He just looked at the window. His hands were still. His phone was off. And for the first time ever, he didn't want to go. Did you enjoy the story? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. If you had a great time, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you're always in the loop for the next adventure. Thanks for joining me, and as always, stay curious, stay brave, and keep exploring.